Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review and demo of the brand new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. So this follows on from the success of their Conceal and Define Concealer. This is what it looks like, just to show you comparison in terms of size. And yes, of course, it's a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape, as this was a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is the same in terms of their foundation. Makeup Revolution, you guys, I swear to God, they copy everybody. So I have got two shades to show you today. Now the reason why I've got two is because if you've seen my previous Makeup Revolution foundation videos, you will know that the shade that matched me was F10. So I bought F10 thinking that it would be exactly the same. The shades are exactly the same. Charlene forgot that there was a heat wave in the UK, in London, was in the high 30s, etc. over the past couple of months, not now, but it was. And obviously I've got a little bit of a tan. In came in F10.5. But Makeup Revolution has now got 0.5 shades. So when they released the concealer initially, they had like normal amount of shades, and then they brought out 0.5 shades to fill in those in-between shades, which I think is a really amazing thing to do. So I bought 10.5. The description of this shade from their website is because they've got descriptions of all the shades to help you guys. F10 is for medium skin tones with a golden undertone, makes sense. And F10.5 is for medium skin tones with a warm golden undertone. So basically it's exactly the same as F10, just a tiny bit warmer. And that's probably just what I need as I wait for my tan to fade. So that's just something to bear in mind for those of you that are around the similar skin tone as me, and if you're maybe a little bit tan from the summer months. This retails at £9, which is incredibly affordable, as Makeup Revolution is a UK drugstore brand and they are a very affordable brand as well. Altogether there are 24 shades, which is great, so hopefully there should be something for everybody. It comes in glass packaging, exactly like the concealer. And exactly like the concealer as well, it comes with a big fat doe foot applicator as well. And then it's just like a little suction thing that makes that really gross noise. Ew, gross. Kind of like it though. So I like the doe foot applicator. It means that application is very, very easy. Unfortunately, I'd say if you were a makeup artist, it's not the most hygienic kind of tool, because obviously you can't keep putting the same brush back in here. So let me just read what their claims are before I get into my own review and my thoughts are from their website. Offering lightweight yet buildable coverage in 24 skin true shades, this versatile foundation is designed to suit every skin type and every skin tone. With an oil-free yet creamy and comfortable formula that dries down to a long-lasting demi-matte finish, it won't settle into fine lines or cling to dry patches. Housed in a luxe glass bottle with a jumbo doe foot applicator for greater control and less waste, this foundation offers highly pigmented coverage that can be layered or diffused to suit your look. Swipe on and blend out to ramp up the coverage for a real skin finish that diffuses blemishes and uneven skin tone, or let your complexion's natural character shine through using a small amount with a damp beauty sponge for a veil-like coverage. So obviously what they're saying is, yes, it is a very full coverage foundation, but you only need to apply a little bit if you want just kind of medium sort of coverage. And if you want to go for their full-on coverage, apply a little bit more. I would definitely say this is a very good full coverage foundation. As you guys know, with previous reviews of mine, I use my guide to see how good and how full coverage and how pigmented a foundation is. I'm going by this beauty spot on my face. If I can still see that beauty spot, it means it's not full coverage. This covered it. I actually was looking in the mirror and I was like, what side is my beauty spot on again? Because I can't quite see. And it covered it completely. I really like the coverage of this. I would say it's very, very, very pigmented. There's lightweight yet buildable coverage completely. And it is a very lightweight, almost mousse kind of textured foundation. Oil-free yet creamy and comfortable, exactly. So when I say kind of mousse-like, I mean like kind of creamy, but not like a really runny foundation. As you guys could see when I took it out of here, it kind of on the end of that, it doesn't drip or anything. So it's not too thick and it's not too thin, just how I like it. Dries down to a long-lasting demi-matte finish. That's another one of the reasons that I really like this. It's not got a dewy finish, it's not got an overly matte finish, it kind of sits in between, so it's a demi matte, which I like because I find demi matte to be a lot more natural and a lot more skin like, because nobody's face is very, very, very matte. We've all got natural oils that seep out in our skin. Some people can be quite oily, yes, but nobody is naturally completely matte. So for that fresh face, natural looking look, I would always suggest personally to get semi-matte foundations. They just look better. It does not settle into fine lines or cling to dry patches completely. I don't have any fine lines, so I can't really say anything about that. I don't really have any dry patches right now either. But I found that somebody with textured skin, as I always mention that I've got textured skin, I find that it really diffused the kind of the marks on my face. It filled out the textures in my skin as well, and it made me look really kind of radiant and glowing. So I would agree with all of their claims. It is transferable. They did not say that it is, because it is. Now, the bottle size is slightly deceiving. It looks really big and feels weighty because it's glass, but it's not 30 ml. It's actually 23 ml, which is a little bit smaller than I would have liked. I would have personally preferred 30 ml. So don't be fooled that this is the same size as a lot of other foundations on the market, even bigger, because the bottle is, the glass in the bottle is so thick that actually takes up more space than the foundation inside. Now, I looked pretty great throughout the day, I have to say myself. It looked really nice. I really liked how this wore on the face as well. I really like how easy it is to apply using the doe foot applicator. It means I don't have to worry about faffing around and squeezing anything onto brushes and whatnot. And I found that after 10 hours of wear, then I started to slightly shine. Now that would be the point in the day where I would suggest having to powder down my face slightly. I do find that the texture of this is very similar to the concealer, and I had similar sort of issues with the concealer. Now I didn't give the concealer a 10 out of 10. I do like the concealer. I've repurchased them because I like them. They're okay, but they're not wow amazing. And I think that this is, in comparison, a better foundation than the concealer. However, in terms of wear time, it kind of wears the same. So after 10 hours, I started to slightly shine. At that point, I did not powder it down because I wanted to do a proper review. And by the time it got to hour 14, bear in mind, I had been in and out of London all day on the public transport. I was hot, I was sweaty, but still my face had started to shine a lot by hour 14. However, it stayed in place on my face, but if I had touched it, like pretty much I would have left a handprint on my face. There was a lot of separation that happened around this area in particular. And again, if I had powdered it down, after hour 10, I probably wouldn't have got as much separation, but that's just to let you guys know that are going to be wearing it throughout the day. That's when it starts to kind of move around a little bit. Just for reference, I've got combination skin, so I've got an oilyish T-zone and the rest of the areas on my face are normal. So overall, I would give this foundation a 9 out of 10. The reason I don't give it a full 10 is because of the shininess and separation that does happen over between hour 10 to 14. Now, with a lot of other foundations out there that are full coverage, they tend to last a lot longer before they get shiny. It may have something to do with the fact that those foundations are a lot more matte and marketed as such, whereas this one is marketed as semi-matte. Therefore, you will get shinier a lot sooner. I'm also giving it a 9 because it does transfer a fair bit, and also because I would have preferred it to have 30 ml rather than 23 ml. However, the pros definitely outweigh the cons, and I think a lot of you out there will really like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my demo. First off, I'm going to use the Revolution Pro Matte Primer, just because I like to use matte primers, because I don't want to get oilier sooner than I need to. I'm going to set my face with the Makeup Revolution Luxury Powder in Banana. It's a brand new one. I do like this a lot, actually. Look, it's still got the sticker on the top. This primer smells like paint stripper, but I feel nice and matte now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just show you on my face what F10 and F10.5 look like, just so that you can get an idea. Okay, so here you can see F10 and F10.5. You can see that F10 has definitely got a little bit more neutralness to it, and 10.5 is definitely got a lot more warmth to it. As you can probably also tell, is this one, number 10, is not too far off from my skin tone. So as I said at the beginning of the video, I have got a slight tan. However, this will fill that gap, because I know from previous experience of buying Makeup Revolution shades, F12 is too dark for me. That's more of an NC42 in MAC, whereas I'm an NC40. And even if I do tan a little bit, I'd sometimes go to NC41, but that shade doesn't really exist properly in the MAC world anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wipe this off, and then I'm going to do the rest of my face using F10.5. So as they have said, it's up to you what you choose to use on your face to blend it in. Either you can use a beauty blender for those of you out there that like to have a little bit more of a sheerer application, because with a product such as this, it will always soak a little bit into the damp beauty blender. Or you can be like me, who generally tends to use brushes. Therefore, even if any product gets into the brush, there's less wastage. The one that I'm using is the Real Techniques buffing brush. Looks like this. It's nice and fluffy and not too dense. So here we go, that is one layer. I don't know if you could tell how easily that just blended over my face, literally just like that, and it's blended in. I love the fact that you are going to reduce so much of your time getting ready in the morning, because not that much blending is required. Obviously, if I didn't have all my eye makeup on, I'd be a lot quicker, but I was just trying to like maneuver around my eyebrows that are already done. So for most of you, this will be enough, one layer. Yeah, I did go in a bit extra, but that's because I was playing around drawing designs on my face. Now, I can see my beauty spot a little bit, but that is because generally, as you guys know with me, I've got a lot of marks and stuff on my cheek area. So I normally just tend to apply a tiny little bit more. Now with this one, you also have to be a little bit careful because it's doe foot applicator. I'm not sure if you can see so well, but there is an indent right in the middle where it kind of pulls up. So when you pull it out of here, it can kind of flick out, and I know that because it just landed like in front of me, and thankfully not on the white shirt. I'm just going to put a little bit extra, just like that. I'm just going to like push it in to my cheeks so that it fills out any texture, etc. And voila, we're done. Looks great. I love it. I love it. It looks nice. It looks nice. Still a little bit tacky, obviously. Now, what I'm going to do also, I'll do this very quickly just on camera because, well, we're here and it's a Makeup Revolution video. I'm going to apply their concealers as well. And I'm just going to fast forward everything just so that I don't end up making this a really long, unnecessarily long video, because I've already done a video on these, so you don't need to see me do it again. So the shades I'm going to be using is C10 and C8.5. Okay, I'm back. Rest of my makeup is done. My 3-day needs to be washed hair is flat, but we'll ignore that and just concentrate on my face. So it all looks lovely. As you can see, it's got a very natural finish to the skin. I like it a lot. Now, I have powdered it down like I've showed you guys. Just using any normal face powder will do. I always prefer to use more mattifying primers in general, just because I know what my skin is like. So by all means, you can invest in the Makeup Revolution one. It was, again, only a few pounds. But overall, I think this foundation is actually pretty good. Quite a few people will like it. But even though it is okay to wear for all skin types, as they say, I would definitely say that if you've got oily skin, to definitely use a mattifying primer and then use your normal mattifying powder on top. And then if you start to get shiny by sooner than I did, because you will, because I have combo skin and not oily skin, then just a little bit of powder will lock it in place and keep it looking fresh all day. On my lips, I'm wearing Makeup Revolution's Pro Supreme Matte Lip Pigment in Subliminal. Love it. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.